Hi everybody, this is Nikki and I'm doing a video that is personal demonstration and it's on the fly. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do with this, but I'm doing Libre 2. I just started the Libre 2 a couple of weeks ago, well, 13 days ago, and I really like it. And recently somebody commented asking about starting a new sensor when the old one is still running. So I have 23 hours left on this one, but I'm going to cut out of it early and just see if I can figure out, what you need to do, which I don't think should be that tricky. But also to see if there's anything maybe that the person may have been missing. That's what I'm thinking about. So I am wearing this one. This is day 13 of day 14. And very generally, I'll just say that it was a really good 13 days. I liked the Libre 1. So I had a suspicion I was going to like the Libre 2, but I was really, really impressed. And I happened to have two back-to-back bad Dexcom G6 sensors, including one that made it less than 24 hours and the other one that made it only 7 days or 6 days. So it was a really good time to have the Libre 2 in because my G6 just wasn't too helpful. And the Libre 2, I love the alarms and I like the fact before I put it on, I was thinking, how is this going to work if it doesn't constantly show you, if you still need to swipe in order to get a value, how is that going to work with the alarms? But it's actually quite simple. So basically this is, I do still swipe to get the value. And I'll show you that value because I'm proud. But I don't need a value to get the alarms. So basically, it will let me know when I'm low and it will tell me low alarm, whatever it is, low blood sugar, low alarm, scan your reader. So for me at this point and with my habits, it actually is a really nice kind of behavioral, encourager, like good behavior encourager. Just to, if you hear the alarm, it probably means you're going low, so pick it up and go check it out. And I don't always pay attention to my alarm, so that's a really nice, helpful thing. Anyway, so I do like it. It does alarm if I'm low or high. It does alarm if I'm out of range. But it does not need to have a value in order to send me those alarms. So that's really cool. The only two negatives, which were both big surprises to me, because this was not what happened on the Libre 1, is that charging was pretty crazy on this first one. I did charge my reader, I think 12 hours before I started, the first sensor. But for whatever reason, I got through about the first 4 days, and then every other day it was telling me I needed to charge. And that is nothing like what I had happen with the Libre 1, so I was a little bit confused by it. The Libre 1, I needed to charge on a 10-day sensor, and definitely on a 14-day sensor. I needed to charge once in the middle of it. So this every other day on a 14-day sensor is pretty crazy. But that was one thing. And then the second thing was the amount of errors. And that was a big surprise too, because that was another thing that did not happen on my Libre 1. I rarely got an error. And the only time I would get an error was when I was on the treadmill and my blood sugar had been rising and now it was turning around and falling really quickly. And it was that fast turnaround in blood sugar. And it was like, it just confused the Libre. And so I would get that error, check again in 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, without exception, it always gave me that value. That is not what I've gotten for 13 days. I once a day, I think I've gotten errors. They tend to happen either when I'm really low or when I'm really high. And it will tell me to check back in 10 minutes, but I check back in 10 minutes and it'll say error. So I just have to kind of forget about it for a while and revisit maybe an hour later, a couple hours later, whatever, and it's back on track again. And there's nothing I can do. It's just kind of, it is what it is. But that was only my first sensor, and I don't think that means it's a done deal. I'll put the second sensor in and hope that I'll go charge the reader again and give it a good full charge and hope that maybe it was just a fluke. But, okay. So I'm putting back in my second sensor, and I'll see if I can figure out who I am, what I'm doing. Okay. Those are alcohol wipes. I should have done those first. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna get that ready. I'm gonna make myself, I'm making all these memes about, you know, about going to the same spot in my body every single time. But the memes are because that's what I do. So I'm gonna make myself be a big girl today and do this. Get my skin tack. Okay. And, well, let it dry for a second. And then we'll just see what happens when I scan. I don't know why I make such a big deal out of going to the right side of my body, but somewhere in my mind, the right side's gonna hurt. So, whatever. And I have my theories, but not enough time to explain them. Okay, so that's in. So now we'll just see a simple scan. This is a 1 hour warm up, so I do not in any way expect that it would be ready to give me a value. But the question is, what happens when I scan it before this one has ended? Okay, so I scan the old one. I'm still at 120, so I made it 6 minutes without screwing up. And then what we'll do is I go back to the menu, hit check glucose again, and I scan this. Oh, dang it. Oh, and I got blood on my meter. Oh, it was bleeding for real. Okay. This is the second really bad bleeder and the same thing. Okay, it says new sensor found. Starting a new sensor will end. I'm not going to show you my arm again because it's bleeding. Okay, starting a new sensor will end the sensor you're currently using. Would you like to start the new one now? I'm going to hit yes. And then it says start new sensor, scan sensor to start it. Important, do not. Okay, so it's done. New sensor starting up. Sensor can be used in 60 minutes. Okay, so, and I got blood on my hands. That's embarrassing, but that's also like, that's diabetes, right? I think I'm going to post it, and I think I'll let you guys know whether or not a Libre 2 bleeder is a reader, because that is the theory. I'm going to go cry. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go cry. I'm going to go wipe myself up and get back to my day in progress. Go change my pants. Thanks for watching. I hope it didn't traumatize anybody, and have a good day. Bye.